Robinson, and you might be saying, what she got on, y'all? Because it's my birthday week. It's my birthday week, or should I say it's my birthday month, okay, and I'm celebrating, all right? However,
you want to stretch it out.
yes, so that's what I'm doing, because we're doing what? We're aging gracefully, right? So I'm here with my two amazing panelists. They're gonna have a conversation with you all today. They're gonna be talking with you about some great, amazing things, right? We've been doing this show now for a couple of months. I know, right? We've been doing it, and I thank you, gentlemen, for sticking in there with me, supporting, making sure that we have great information and getting the information out the way it's supposed to. Because this is the Lemonade Podcast, and everything in life is not always sweet, it's sometimes sour. Okay? So with that being said, I want you two gentlemen to talk about the quality of life, talk about health and wealth, all of those different things that make us who we are today. So before we get too far into it, I'm going to look at our sheet, because somebody said, do we really stuff on the papers y'all looking at? It is, right?
Not like prime time.
Not like prime time. But we have notes. We talk about things. We try to make sure that everything that we do is decency and in order. Because when you get to a certain age, you want things to be right, on time, and all of those different things. So I'm going to go to the side and touch my mouth. I'm going to let these two gentlemen talk, because caring for seniors is perhaps the greatest responsibility we have. So don't be afraid. You got this. All right. Thank you so very much. Mr. Al, lead off.
All right. My name is Monroe Larimore. Al. Alex is my middle name. And I just want to say, as I said before, this is the greatest city in the world. I've traveled a little bit out of the country, and I've been to some of the southern states and some of the northern states. And I'm home, and I want to talk about the quality of life, and I will get into that once we meet our second brother here, Mr. Willis. So go ahead and say what you got to say, and I'll jump on.
Okay, what I want to bring to the forefront this morning, I want to be the reminder of what's going on now, and everybody wants to brush it underneath the table. But there's a lot of things that is going on right now that pertain to 55 plus, especially if you're 62, or you're 65, or you're 70. Those are the retirement ages now. But if you listen to what's being said, and if you do Google things up and things come on your phone, read them. It's not all artificial information. If certain parties get in total top control, they're going to start to reduce your Social Security payment by 24%. Your Medicare, your Medicaid, they are going to cut benefits on that. Okay? In other words, what I'm saying to you is this. You may not want to hear it, you may not want to be bothered, but I'm going to tell you what, they are getting ready to fool with your pocketbooks. And that is the bottom line. All right? Those of you that are out on pension and get Social Security, it won't affect you. But those of us that this is our sole income, and this is a quality of life issue. You think it's bad at the supermarket now? When they start slashing, and I'm talking about, this is the Republican agenda, okay? And it had nothing to do with who's too old and this, that, and the other, but think about this. Here you have an individual that's not even elected yet. And this individual has more power than we have seen in 100 years. You would think we were back on the plantation, okay? And Master said this, because this is what is coming at us right now. Be careful, be willful, and be perceptive to what's going on around you. Because you can sit home all you want, cross your fingers, but I'm gonna tell you what, when they dip into that pocketbook, all right, and don't poke your lips out, put them on back in your mouth. This is the forewarning, and during the course of this broadcast between now and November, I will be reminding you, alright, that you can sit on your behind, but don't let your mind cover your cheeks or your hiney.
Cap on that.
Alright?
I can't leave you two alone for a
Keep
second.
it real because this is a real possible crisis that's about to come this way. And it's going to affect everybody in our age group.
Yes.
That's my quality of life
I
for
love
today.
it, I love it, thank you so much. Yeah. So, now we wanna dive even deeper, because when you start to age, you know, it's almost like you become the Tin Man, where you need to be oiled, you know? So right now, I've started putting like castor oil in my navel, you know, to help me with my health and wealth and weight gain and making sure that everything is moving efficiently, because like the Tin Man, you do need oil
Where are you putting?
in my navel.
I never heard that.
Yes, so yes,
That's point of
yes,
information
yes,
there.
because it helps you with constipation, it helps you with your skin, your hair. So castor oil does a lot of different things for us, right? So that's one of the things that I do, and I know that Mr. Al always talks about the health and all those things. So Mr. Al, I know you've been over there taking some notes, so we definitely want to hear from you about our health. And Mr. Willis, I want you to come back around, because we got about 8 minutes, come back around and slap us again with that quality of life, okay? All right, go ahead, Mr. Al.
All right. Now, the subject is quality of life. In order to have a quality of life, we first must be healthy. It's like I said to Kenny Rice, who's a transportation executive. Before we do anything, we have to be strong. If we go into school and we're not eating right, we're not going to feel right, and we're not going to act right. So first, the thing we need to do is learn to eat correctly. We see all these commercials leading us away from the truth about the cause of health problems. We need to have a quality of life education that will teach us right from wrong. My father never went to school. My mother's people lived on the reservation. She only got a 3rd grade education. She may have been molested by a white man, I don't know, but I'm light-skinned. She wanted to have an abortion, which is a big subject now. And she didn't go through it because the man was drunk and the place was filthy. Leaving that alone, we need to have a situation where, you know, we not only must eat well, we must learn basic reading. If we can't read, we can't do algebra, we can't do anything that the people on Wall Street can do. Wall Street is all math. We must learn basic math, we must learn a trade, learn a skill. You know, one of the brothers came here, tried to teach on Stuyvesant Avenue. He's probably a millionaire now, Hassan Kelly. Trying to teach all of our people, even women, to learn how to do, build a foundation. Because women into trade school, it's good money. But many of our people could not do fractions, and he kept making the measurements too tight, so he had to give it up. Now, we must include it in the quality of life. We must learn self-defense. Kids are getting hurt in school. They get somebody take your sneaks, and they want to do other things. So you have to. I remind myself every morning, either in the morning or at night, do whatever I can in terms of self-defense and some stretching. We must be smart and we must be strong. Alexander the Great was asked before he passed, he said, one of his bodyguards said, who do you want to take your place? He said, the strong and the what did he say, the strong and the smart or something like that. But you must be strong, and sometimes in order to be strong, only the strong survive. Finally, we must unite. There is strength in numbers. When physical strength alone is not enough, we must unite. Fight together against power. In order to have truth and power, we must work together. Because the rich who control us, they are millionaires and billionaires. They live well. And many of us are just scraping by, getting food that we can afford. And we don't have anything else. I want to teach us all how to be well, so that we can go ahead and learn to take care of ourselves, buy a home, buy a business, buy a farm, and just feed each other and look out for each other with whatever needs we need. And basically, that's all I got to say right now.
That's a lot. Thank you for that, because he hit a lot of great points. You hit a lot of great points. Go
I
ahead.
have a question to throw into the conversation. Where do you think all of this dysfunction begins?
Well,
These are dysfunctions
I
that
think
people
that it
have not
began from
either
slavery
been
time.
taught, or is it where? Where does it begin?
well, in my opinion, it began with slavery time, when people from a primitive nation were brought to a civilized nation, and the civilized people took advantage of the people who had a primitive mentality.
Remember,
So
it
it
wasn't
could be
civilized.
A primitive mentality, or the cultures were different, so therefore you were degraded because you weren't me, and you didn't speak like me, and it's a whole lot of things to it. But
Well,
what
tell you.
I'm asking you is this. My point is this. I just might as well make my point. All of this starts at home. You ever notice little kids when they play? They're not looking at color. They're looking at sharing this, because that's the first thing we said. Teach them to share and blah, blah, blah. And don't let anybody run over your things and abuse your things. The same thing between white, black, and all of that. I remember I worked at the boys' choir school. And this little black kid got the lead singing part from the white choir master. And do you know what the little 9-year-old boy turned to the other little white 9-year-old boy and said? My grandfather's white. Those people aren't shit. Now that's 9 years old.
Yeah.
It starts where?
Home.
Doesn't start with slavery.
All right.
It starts at home. If we're living the moment, and you got mileage, I have mileage, you have some mileage, okay? Because you're not in our age group. I know there's certain things I told my sons, but it was to protect them, not for them to hate, not for them to automatically look at you and say, oh, you're a piece of trash, or you're lazy. Lazy folks couldn't build a country. Lazy folks couldn't make you rich picking cotton. Okay?
Don't get our show shut down, y'all. Y'all show
Okay?
up.
No, but it's the truth.
It's the truth.
It starts at home, and I'm gonna tell you what, it's never gonna stop. Because each generation is gonna pick up something. It's mostly something that they feel that they were entitled to, and you had to get it by law, or now by being overqualified. But the point is, if they don't win, and you win, it's back in the kitchen. That dirty nigga, that lazy bum.
The truth really comes out.
That's right.
Yeah, because
That's
certain
right.
times people will, like people just saying, is people will smile on your face, and as soon as your back is half turned, they're stabbing you in it,
In
you
your
know.
back, that's right.
Yeah, but a lot of times people are even bolder now that they will be totally disrespectful right there in your face. They don't even wait for you to turn your back. But what we're saying is, listen, the things that we're talking about, we've been talking about these things forever, for a very long time.
Right.
And at this point, by now, we should know how to be respectful no matter what color you are. No matter what your color is, we are should be able to be respectful. Because guess what? These are people we have to go to the grocery store with, to our jobs, get gas, our food, meet online shopping, you know what I mean? Like all of these things. So I'm not gonna sit up here and go to the grocery store and say, "Ooh, I'm gonna roll my eyes at everybody I see that's not black." Well, my eyeballs will be on the ground.
Yes, they would.
So we gotta get away from that. Like these two gentlemen are saying to us, like, listen, we have been around for a minute, and we know some stuff. Okay, Mr. Al, I applaud you because the things that you say to people, because you're so passionate about them wanting to be okay, that you even put all of your own personal lifestyle out there. You understand things you've been through, and I applaud you for that, because if it's only one person that you can help, we've done our job. You understand what I'm saying? So I thank you for that. Thank you for that. Because people will, they will color, they don't want to hear that. Like he said, I'm light skinned. Okay, and we all know some people that's light skinned because some stuff didn't happen. Okay, so we gotta keep
Some mixing in the kitchen.
in the kitchen. So we gotta keep talking about certain things, keep our pulse out there, let everybody know what's really going on, and when you get a chance to talk to seasoned individuals, you gotta listen. You gotta listen because they've been there, they've seen some stuff we haven't even seen, that we may never even see, because if we don't want to
see it.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to see it all over again.
If that man get
Yes,
in.
indeed, you got to see
Okay,
it.
so
Trust me.
what we want you all to do is look and find out what it is that you want for your family, right? And you teach that to your family, okay? We don't have, black people don't really have no good traditions like everybody else. We ain't got nothing but collard greens, macaroni and cheese, cornbread, stuff like that. We don't have no heritage, or you know what I mean? We don't have all that. You may see, you got the Puerto Rican parade, you got all these different kinds of things that they really bring their culture into. We be too busy fighting about ours. We can't even get Juneteenth right. Okay? We be too busy arguing about stuff that we shouldn't argue about, and we do it in public. Oops, did I just do it in public too? Well, anyway, we're gonna come back next week, and we're gonna have some more stuff to talk about, because one of the things that we do with the 55 plus is we keep it real. Like one thing we hear is aging is not lost youth, but a new stage of opportunity and strength. So it's a new, yes,
strength.
it's strength. So it's, like you said, there's strength in numbers. Okay, we're coming together. We have guests, we have studio audiences, we have all of those things. And what we're saying to you all is, we love you and we care about you. This is why we take the opportunity to share this information, because we are aging gracefully, and we don't want to leave here without helping the next generation.
Absolutely.
All right?
And your living is not in vain.
And nothing new. Any last words?
Well,
Quickly.
I just want to say this, one last thing. My father never went to school. He had to stay on the chalkwood. My mother only went to 3rd grade. You can't teach what you don't know. When you go to school, the teacher's supposed to teach you, because sometimes they have to be a parent as well as a teacher, because you don't have a quality of life education coming from the parents. Some people live in the suburbs, they have a quality of life education. But some of the inner city people, folks don't have a mother that's a teacher or a father that's educated. So we have to turn to the authority above them to help us get where the people who are having it and we don't have it, we need to be able to get a quality of life education in school. That's it.
That's it. Mr. Willis, closing remarks?
Closing remarks. What Mr. Lattimore is saying, I'm totally on board with you, but remember one thing. No education, 3rd grade education. Back then, you were taught fear, not lessons. Your place, fear. If you do this, if you don't do that, fear. There were consequences back then. And that's why I say to myself, strength, we have it. We've endured it. We've been there. We still have that strength. Whether the rest of the race wants to come on board with us individually, if you have that strength, it's on you.
Yeah.
You're the teacher. All right? You're the teacher.
Okay.
Any day you don't learn something is a day wasted.
One final words. We have fear now. We have fear that we're dealing with today.
Absolutely.
There are people who are afraid to go into a hospital.
Absolutely.
There are doctors that will hurt you, and there's nothing you can do about it. So there is legitimate fear happening right now.
Absolutely.
That's why I train every morning. With what little I can do to strengthen me, to encourage, to give me courage. Taken care of years ago. You know, hernias, right, left, and center. I'm in serious trouble. So what you're talking is great.
Both of y'all are so
But
great. I love y'all.
I don't want to hear anything that is negative compared to what I'm talking about. Because what you're talking to me right now,
You have to have strength. You have the strength. That's why you speak. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
you're agging the hell out of me.
No, what are you talking about? We're talking about what the basis of this is today. I'm just taking one word that can describe everything that we talked about today. Strength. If you can bring solid information, you have the strength, the confidence in yourself to do that, here's something. You're a hell of a person.
Yeah, he's complimenting you.
Oh, don't get it twisted.
He not insulting you. He's telling you how amazing you are. So listen, it done got heated on the show. And we coming back next week to talk more about aging gracefully. I'm your host, Yolanda L. Robinson, with my two co-hosts, Mr. Al and Mr. Clarence. I'm your girl, Yolanda L. Robinson. And guess what? We will talk with you all soon. Woo!